Albus Dumbledore, considered to be one of the most talented and brilliant wizards in the wizarding world. But before he aided Harry Potter in defeating Voldemort, before he dueled Grindelwald and took control of the Elder Wand, Albus Dumbledore was a son and a brother, part of a family shrouded in secrets and tragedy. Not much is known about Percival Dumbledore. He married Kendra, a Muggle-born witch. Together, the couple had 3 children: Albus, Aberforth, and Ariana. The family lived in Mold on the Wold, where Kendra would entertain them with stories from the tales of Beedle the Bard. Little else is known about the family before tragedy struck when Ariana was just 6 years old and changed the course of the Dumbledores' lives forever. 3 Muggle boys caught Ariana doing magic, spying through the back garden hedge, and what they saw scared them. They forced their way through the hedge, and when she couldn't perform the trick again, they attacked her. The brutal assault on young Ariana left her with irreparable damage. She wouldn't use magic, but she couldn't get rid of it. Her powers turned inwards, which drove her mad.
My sister was an Obscurial. She never learned to express her magic. Over time, it grew darker and began to poison her.
The ripple effect of poor Ariana's attack spread through every corner of the family. Her father, Percival, took revenge on the 3 Muggle boys who had permanently traumatized Ariana and was sent to Azkaban as a result. He never revealed to anyone why he had done it, as Percival feared that if the truth came out, Ariana would have been seen as a threat to the International Statute of Secrecy and locked up for the rest of her life in St. Mungo's Hospital for Magical Maladies and Injuries. Instead, he garnered a reputation for hating Muggles and spent the rest of his life behind bars. He died in Azkaban. Following Percival's imprisonment, Kendra moved the family to Godric's Hollow to try and protect her youngest. It was there, in the birthplace of Godric Gryffindor and later Harry Potter, that she kept her daughter hidden from the rest of the world. Meanwhile, in the autumn of 1892, Albus began attending Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry and was sorted into Gryffindor House. He had won every prize of note that the school offered, and he was in regular correspondence with some of the most significant magical names of the day, including Nicholas Flamel, the noted alchemist, and Bathilda Bagshot, the celebrated historian. Several of his papers found their way into learned publications, and Dumbledore's future career seemed likely to be meteoric. The only question that remained was when he would become Minister of Magic. 3 years after Albus had started at Hogwarts, his brother Aberforth arrived at school. They were not alike. Aberforth was never bookish and, unlike Albus, preferred to settle arguments by dueling rather than through reasoned discussion. However, despite their dissimilarities, the brothers remained friends and were as comfortable together as any 2 such different boys could be. For Aberforth, though, it cannot always have been an altogether comfortable experience living in Albus's shadow. Soon after Albus graduated from school, tragedy again intervened. When Ariana was 14, she had one of her rages, and during the violent outburst, Kendra was killed. Albus was left the head and sole breadwinner of the family. With a wayward brother and damaged sister to care for, he returned home to look after Ariana, insisting that Aberforth continue his studies at Hogwarts. But the teenage Albus, who had been planning his travels and his brilliant career, returned home to Godric's Hollow in anger and bitterness. And then, of course, he arrived. During the summer after Kendra's death, Gellert Grindelwald came to stay with his great-aunt in Godric's Hollow and captivated young Albus.
You and Grindelwald were as close as brothers.
Oh, we were closer than brothers.
The pair became inseparable as they shared ideas for a new wizarding order and formed a shared obsession with discovering the 3 Deathly Hallows. Aberforth felt Albus's friendship with Grindelwald had left Ariana neglected. He didn't realize that his brother had fallen in love. Blinded by his affections, Albus planned to join Grindelwald on a quest for the Hallows. But Aberforth interceded, reminding the duo that Albus could not do that with a fragile and unstable sister in tow. An argument ensued.
Voices were raised, threats made. Aberforth drew his wand, which was foolish. I drew my wand, which was even more foolish.
Wands were unleashed, and a three-way duel began with devastating consequences. In the end, no one knew for sure who cast the curse that killed Ariana. But after all of Kendra's care and caution, Ariana lay dead upon the floor. Grindelwald vanished with his plans for seizing power, his schemes for Muggle torture, and his dreams of the Deathly Hallows. Aberforth blamed Albus, while Albus, for his part, was left with his guilt and terrible grief. Aberforth eventually took over the management of the Hogshead Inn, while Albus, who recognized power was his greatest weakness and temptation, sought refuge as a professor at Hogwarts, training young wizards. The brothers passed the time thus, slowly healing at a safe distance from one another, until they learned of a child hidden from his father, a child who, like Ariana, could not control his magic. Credence Barebone did not know who he was or where he belonged. Adopted by Mary Lou Barebone, a no-mage anti-witchcraft leader,
Credence, where have you been?
he was forced to repress his magic and developed an obscurus, a dangerous parasite that he could not control. As word spread through the magical community about this boy, Newt Scamander, a magizoologist and friend of Albus's, took an interest in him, but could not get to him before Grindelwald. The silver-tongued wizard revealed to Credence that he was really a Dumbledore, and his true name was Aurelius. Grindelwald channeled Credence's hate. But Aberforth, realizing that Credence is his son, used a magic two-way mirror to communicate with him, so that Aurelius might know his true family. It is well documented that Aberforth continued to fight on the side of good the rest of his life. He played a key role in helping Harry Potter defeat Lord Voldemort. He was the one that sent Dobby to Malfoy Manor to help rescue Harry, Ron, and Hermione. He sheltered them when they arrived in Hogsmeade just before the Battle of Hogwarts. He fought in the battle himself, and he was critical in keeping Dumbledore's army going in Harry's absence. Albus spent the rest of his time at Hogwarts as teacher and then headmaster. He was regarded as one of the greatest head teachers that Hogwarts had ever had. Albus would be awarded the Order of Merlin First Class for his defeat of Grindelwald. Later, he would be instrumental in the defeat of a second Dark Wizard, Lord Voldemort. He set up the Order of the Phoenix when Voldemort was first gaining power and was one of the most prominent figures to resist him. In fact, Dumbledore was the only wizard that Voldemort feared. He also knew just how important Harry would be in bringing about Voldemort's downfall. But the tragedy of his past would stay with him, and he would inadvertently set his own death in motion in a moment of weakness when he reached for the cursed resurrection stone, imagining he would see Ariana and his mother and father once again.